Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up.
Get up! Hey. Got 3 down.
Ryan. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons are in for 6. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
C.J. Anderson in the game. He gets it here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. Also let you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Now Ryan on first down. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. The Falcons on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Freeman again. And not much running room. Down to the 32. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
There we go. Get out. Wait.
Fourth down. Here's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field.
Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
On the ball.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Newton on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. On 1st down, it's Newton. Flushed out right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Here's Newton, escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. First target, first catch, and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
12.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go.
They toss to Freeman. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Ryan to throw. Steps away to his left. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long. It's Newton. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They will go for it. Now Newton. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And
down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Let's go. Space.
Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Julius Peppers able to drop him for a loss of 4. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Watch two.
Now Ryan on second down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a third down. The Falcons on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
Here's Newton. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Falcons on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
54, south. Right there. 54, right there, right there. 54, Mike.
Now it's Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. 18 yards there and a first down. Ryan now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Falcons add on. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Falcons grab it. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score. And
he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Mario Addison in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On 2nd down, Ryan got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. Fights him off, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, That's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Now Newton on first down. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Ryan wants to throw it. And this throw will be intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. The 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Able to fight through one tackle. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. A very solid gain of 27.
Get up! Get up! Left!
Well, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. They went right back to him there, figuring one big play deserves another. You think maybe he called for it and said, hey, give me the ball again?
I think a lot of people operate under the whole idea of if they haven't stopped it, go until they do. You go right back at a guy because maybe his confidence might not be as high. In this case, he responded well.
Getting it out left side to Sanu. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Falcons on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw again is Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
39.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Sliding out of the pocket. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Let's go.
To throw on second down, Ryan. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Let's go. 5:25.
On third down, Ryan. Buying time, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number.